Hello everyone. In a previous video, I talked to you about the Joe Rocket riding gear that I wear. However, I should have qualified that because that riding gear is what I use during warm weather. When the temperature drops, I use different riding gear, and I am going to cover that in this video. I will start with the jacket. This jacket is considered the old school leather jacket model, and it's very similar with some of the features that my mesh jacket had, except this is all leather. Now, just like the other one, the mesh jacket, it's padded in pretty much the same places as the other one. Shoulder pads, elbow, the spine protector, and that's it. The other one had the little piece underneath for the tailbone, but this does not. But just like the other one, all three of these are removable and replaceable. However, one thing I want to caution on the difference between this jacket and the mesh jacket is the mesh jacket came with all three of those items with the jacket. This leather jacket, this old school leather jacket, did not. So it's more or less an optional item when it comes to the leather. Probably because a lot of people think that the leather is enough protection in and of itself. But the option is there. I went ahead and ordered the optional pieces and put them in. So there's access to all of these areas on the inside of the jacket, similar to what I showed you in the previous video. The other thing that's very different between this one and the mesh jacket is clearly the weight, because it is a leather jacket. Everyone knows how much leather weighs. So this is a very heavy jacket, even without all of the body armor. So keep that in mind. I will go ahead and take it off. Okay, just like the other mesh jacket, this too has a liner that's zipped in there, goes all the way around. I keep the liner in all the time, unlike the mesh jacket. So if it's cool enough for me to have to wear this jacket, then I just go ahead and leave the liner in. Underneath that liner is where you would have access to the body armor for the back, the spine protector. And inside the sleeves you can get to the other ones for the shoulder pad and the elbow. As far as the sleeves are concerned, I just want to point out you've got a snap here and a zipper for easy access. And that's all there is to this. I will move on. Next are the gloves. These are called the wind-chilled cold weather gloves. That's the model name. They are very thick, very padded, very insulated. They are old school. There is nothing in here that's battery operated, so they're not heated in any fashion. Not much to them. They have a little bit of knuckle armor. It's not the TPU that we found on the mesh gloves. But it's thick enough, probably because they're so thick to begin with, whereas the mesh gloves, there really wasn't much protection there at all because it's mesh, whereas these are thick leather throughout. So the padding's not quite as thick. It's a little more pliable, so you don't feel as much resistance when you close your hands around the hand grips. One other thing I would like to point out is that the index finger does not contain the Smart Touch conductive material, so you could touch a smart device, touch screen. So they do not have that. It does have an adjustment strap on each one, so you can tighten that up however you like. But that's all there is to the gloves. Okay, the last thing to go over are the pants. The model is ballistic, and they are heavily insulated, which makes them quite a bit heavier than the mesh pants that I showed you in the previous video, which is exactly why we want these pants, because we want the insulation. So the extra weight is a given. So that's just one of the trade-offs. But other than that, there are a lot of similarities between the two pants. First off, I'll start with the padding. It has the hip padding, armor protection, just like the mesh ones. And also it has the knee pad padding as well. And it seems to go down about the same distance, about half the shin. And again, you can access those pads, the body armor, inside the pants. They are removable, they are replaceable. Pockets, just like on the other one, easy enough to access. And again, the zipper in the back for those that want to attach this to the jacket. Now, as you can see here, I do have these pants, the outer portion of the pants, over my boot. So that's how I tend to wear these in cooler weather, in contrast to how I wear the mesh pants in warmer weather. But just like the other pants, I will show you, they have full access all the way up the legs. So easy to get in and out of. And the inside liner, I actually do have that portion tucked inside my boot. And again, because these boots allow a lot of, there are a lot of room inside the boots that allow those to be tucked in without feeling too bulky in there. But this is really thin down there, so it's easy enough to do that. And I think it would be harder to put these over the boot than it is to simply put them in. Zip them down and then Velcro over the zipper, and that's all there is to that. All right, so that's all there is to my cool weather riding gear. I will put a link to all 3 of these items in the description. See you next time.